One and all, welcome to the Galaxy Man Show interview show. So, for my very next guest and second guest of this week is this incredible singer and songwriter known by the name of Kat Dion. So, I'm about to add Kat into the live now and have a chat with Kat about her incredible music. I'm going to put Nissa down. Nissa just wanted to say hi to everyone. Let's add Kat in and have a chat with Kat. Hello,
Hi,
Kat.
Ollie.
How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks. I just want to say first up, thank you so much for taking the time to join my show. It is such an incredible pleasure having you on the show for today. To
Thank
people that don't know who you are, Kat, if you can give like a bit of backstory about yourself, and then we'll dive right into the questions.
Yes, of course. Well, I'm a singer-songwriter from Quebec, Canada, mostly based in Montreal. I lived here for the past like 6 years. And I basically started songwriting when I was 14, started my music career more like professionally at 19, released my first song ever, Tarantino. And I've been just writing music ever since and riding the wave, making more and more music all the time. So yeah.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now, Kat. So for my very first question, so you've actually created a original song called Mirror, which was an incredible song. To people that haven't listened to it, definitely go check it out, listen to it.
Thank you.
What was it like getting to create this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
So this song was really fun to create, actually super fast. I think it was the fastest one I wrote yet. I wrote it basically after it was like a year after a really like hard breakup I had gone through, and it really, really like made me emotional. It was really hard breakup, and I was starting a new relationship at that time. So after a year of like taking my time, just processing what I had to process, and um, I remember my boyfriend, my current boyfriend, was coming to my apartment to study, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write some songs in the meantime. Like, it was like the pandemic, like we had to like figure out like what to do. So I just went in the room and I started writing Miroir. And I wanted to write something super simple. I was like, just write something. Like, doesn't have to be complicated or anything. And it just came out super fast. And basically, the meaning behind it is really about healing. It's about that moment when you just start loving yourself and you're okay with someone not loving you, like you loving yourself and putting yourself first and seeing how beautiful you are by yourself without anyone to tell you who you are or what you should do, what you should be. It's just that moment where you don't need anyone, and if someone comes in your life, they have to accept you for who you are. And yeah.
So on to my very next question. So on to that, you have actually created an original song called
Yeah, insomnia.
Insomnia. What was it like getting to create this one, and what's the whole meaning behind this song?
So Insomnia was super fun to write too. It's really just like a fun song about love and the first feelings of meeting someone. I read a lot about that. I feel like, you know, I'm super young. I never like this is like my first really like long-term relationship. Like I had some relationships before that were a bit more rocky and a bit more, unstable, but it's always those beginnings with the passion. I think I was a bit addicted to that in the past, and um, it's just that it's meeting someone and feeling the chemistry, and you just lose sleep over it.
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So on to that, so Hollywood Bitch, like
Yeah.
incredible song. What was it like getting to create Hollywood Bitch?
So this one I wrote with a friend of mine called Marianne. She's a super amazing singer-songwriter producer as well. And I wrote it coming back from California. I spent about a year there doing acting school, and I really loved it. I felt super welcomed, especially as a creative. I kind of met my like creative family there. We were all kids from different places around the world and just meeting up in LA, which is a crazy place to be in. And we didn't really know anyone there. And I know that it's not the best place to make friends. I heard that like it's a little hard to meet friends there when you first arrived, but I was super lucky. met some amazing artists there, and that was just like my song to celebrate how I felt in this little community and celebrating my friends. So yeah.
So on to my very next question. So, Devil in a Dress, great song too. What was it like getting to create Devil in a Dress, and what's the meaning behind this one?
So Devil in a Dress is basically about, it was kind of like my storytelling point of view of someone that was kind of using their like the person knew the power they had over people, and they were kind of using it badly, and I was just kind of aware of that because they were in my circle, and I wanted to write like a little like fun storytelling song using this story because it was a fun twist to put to it, I think. And I just wrote in my room alone. It was like back in the beginning when I didn't have like a little home studio, I didn't have anything. I would write like basically on a notebook, just like lyrics with my voice memos. And I wrote that, and then I sent it over like a few, I think it was like a year after. And I was just like, staying in my notes, not like really, I wasn't doing anything with it. And I sent it to one of my friends called Charles Garand. And he's also producer, a singer-songwriter, super amazing musician. And I was like, do you want to like just do something with this? I don't know. And we recorded it at his home studio, like he has a cool basement studio. And he basically recorded all the instruments himself. It's all real instruments on the record. So yeah, really, really fun.
It's awesome. Sounds like very next question. So, Tarantino, uh,
Yeah.
what was it like getting to create this song? And yeah, you mentioned it before. Like, what was the whole meaning behind this song?
So Tarantino, yet again, I think when I started writing, for me, Lana Del Rey was like a big influence. And I just loved how like cinematic it was. And I remember I just was watching like Kill Bill before I went in my room, and I got super inspired. And I was going through like another like heartbreak moment. So I was like, okay, like betrayal. It's a song about betrayal, basically, about it could be anyone really, but just the feeling that you meet someone and you think that they're good for you, but they end up just stabbing you in the back. And I used it in the little storytelling twist again, like super cinematic. And yeah, so.
Awesome. So that's our very next question. So on to that, like Dan's test bras. What was it like getting to create this song, and what's the meaning behind this one?
Um, so this one was super emotional. Again, I think during the pandemic, because it's part of my EP. So in my EP, basically, it was kind of like the stages of the breakup. So I basically like documented it and put it into an
Yes.
EP. And that part could really be about any relationship. I wrote it. I just had bought stuff for my little home studio. I remember I was staying at my parents' in my room that they made for me during lockdown, like the first time. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy some stuff, learn how to produce myself, try to do some stuff. And I was playing around. I had a friend who sent me like a beat because we were all like talking to each other, sending stuff at that time. And I locked myself up in my room and I just started writing, and it was like super fresh. The breakup was like super fresh at that time. I think I was just becoming aware of the idea that this is it, like you're not going to be able to hold this person in your arms anymore. And I felt like it was also you know a feeling that a lot of people were feeling about a lot of people in their lives during that time. So yeah, it's super sad song. I moved on, I'm good now. But yeah, that was basically the meaning of this one.
Awesome. So that's our very next question. So, like, what made you decide as a person and, like, especially as an artist, like, to get into singing in the first place?
Well, I actually got into singing like super young. I remember I started like at around 5, 6 to be
Oh,
like really like into singing. Um, I would sing like ABBA songs like every day.
nice.
I had like my little karaoke and I was just blasting ABBA. Yeah, thanks to my parents who made me discover ABBA. But yeah, I just always loved it. And then when I became older, um, I really wanted to have a career in music. I kind of knew it, no matter what it was, whether it was songwriting or, just being a musician in general. I really wanted to do music.
So I'll start with your next question. So on to that, like, what does performing music like mean to you, like, especially as an artist?
For me, it's like connecting with the people. So songwriting and being in the studio is often like super um sheltered. Like it's a very like alone moment that you're living. It's not like, even if I'm collaborating with people, it doesn't feel as if I'm sharing the stuff. So it's like a moment where I'm just creating and I'm in my bubble. But going on stage and performing it is just it's kind of like showing to everybody like, hey, this is what I did, and I hope you connect with it. And when they do, it's just so like magical. I don't know how to describe the feeling, but it's just nice to see that people are creating memories with stuff that you wrote and that you once had. You had to, you know, get it out of your system, and now some people have their own meaning to it, and they enjoy it. They might dance, they might sing, and it's just really beautiful to see.
So on to our next question. So like, if you could work with like any top three music artists in the music industry, like, who would you want to work with and why?
Um, Easy question. I would definitely want to work with Lady Gaga.
Okay.
I'm one of those Gaga babies. I'm
Yes.
in love with Lady Gaga. Um, I think she's an amazing artist, amazing performer, and amazing songwriter. She really influenced me in my life and kind of made me want to become a music artist and a pop artist. So definitely Lady Gaga.
Did you
Um,
actually hear about Lady Gaga? She's going to be Harley Quinn in the Joker
I
movie.
just saw that. I was
Yeah.
browsing on YouTube and I just saw that. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I actually see her do that. Like she's such a good actress too. I just like I watched House of Gucci in the
Okay.
plane because I'm in Chicago right now and I was like
Yeah.
flying here, and she's so good. I can't
Yeah.
believe it. Every time I
Yeah.
see her, she's just so amazing.
Yeah.
Um, then the next one would probably be Charlie XCX.
Yes.
Really, really cool girl. I really like her music. I think she was a bit like left behind for a while. Like people didn't really talk about her, but she's like so talented and so versatile too. I think she keeps blowing people's away. So yeah, I think she's amazing. And then there was a third one, right?
Yes.
So just because I'm a big fan of One Direction, I was a big fan of One Direction. I think
Yes.
Harry Styles. My boyfriend would probably not let me in a room with him, but yeah,
Uh,
Harry Styles.
well, he's in a Marvel movie now, so I don't know. Like
Yeah, he's doing
Thanos,
acting too. It's great.
yeah, Thanos' brother. Like no one messed with Thanos' brother.
Right, right.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
good actor
definitely
and
him.
singer. So yeah, Harry
Yeah,
Styles.
yeah,
Good
really
choice.
good.
Yes. So on to the very next question. So like, if you could like go anywhere, any place, like any country in the world, and take your music anywhere, where would you want to take your music to and why?
Mm. I want to go everywhere because I haven't like performed anywhere yet apart from Montreal, but um I would want to go to Japan, I think. I feel like that would just be like a really cool trip and
Yeah.
like that would probably be like a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely. I've never been there, so really want to go.
Awesome. So on to the very next question. So like, what advice would you give like up and coming artists that want to get into music? And yeah, what advice would you give them?
I think I would tell them to just stay true to yourself. Don't like change for other people. Don't try to be something that you're not. At the end of the day, being authentic is what is going to get you the best people, right? So you can't like be liked by everyone, but at least the people that are going to like you are going to like you for you, and that's the easiest thing you can do. So
So, very next question. So, like, if young Cat, like, if you could like give it any advice to your younger self, what advice would you give to your younger self and why?
Like, chill.
Yeah,
Like, just take your time, relax, don't overthink it. You you're gonna be fine. I think I was very stressed growing up about just being so perfect and trying to just, you know, fight the time, and at the end of the day, there's nothing you can do. Just do you. Keep creating. You're gonna be all right.
awesome. So, on to our very next question. So, like, what are the positive and negatives into creating your own music in the music industry, and how do you get through those like negative moments as an artist?
I think that sometimes it's mostly the pressure that we kind of get lost into it, the pressure of other people on us as artists. I think those moments can be like a little negative, but overall, I think the industry there's a really good community of artists, especially like indie artists. I feel like I'm always on TikTok and I'm meeting new people, and it's so much easier to just go through the hard times when you have such a great community. And there's so much talent out there. So, even if sometimes it's a little hard to make money, and
Yeah,
it can be a really hard career to choose to do, but honestly, it's worth it, and community is great. So yeah.
awesome. So, on to our very last question. So, like, what's next for you, like, music wise? Anything, any projects that you'd like to announce on the show?
Well, I'm working on more music at the moment, so eventually I'm gonna release some more stuff for sure. I also have a music video for my song Vulnerabilité. That's gonna be coming out early September. I'm gonna release a date pretty soon. But yeah, so a music video, more music. I'm planning on doing some shows as well. So yeah.
Yes. Well, I would love to ask, by the way, would you like to give a performance of one of your original songs, if you can?
Right now,
Yeah,
well,
if you
I don't
can.
have the stuff, but I can sing it
Okay.
a cappella.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
I'll sing, I don't know, do you want me to sing Miroir or?
Yeah, any choice is fine by me.
All right, je t'attends tous les soirs, tu reviens trop tard au fond, y a rien à voir avec la belle histoire que tu vends dans le noir, dans mon miroir, 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 miroir. Je m'aimerais, je suis belle à voir. Miroir, miroir, miroir. Tu veux jouer avec moi? Viens danser, viens danser. Arrête de parler, viens danser, viens danser. Ah, 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 ah. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Oh man, Kat, that was awesome. Well, can I
Thank
just
you so
say
much.
thank you? No, you're very welcome. Can I just say thank you so much for appearing on my show? You have been such an incredible guest on the show for today.
Thank you for
Uh,
having me.
no, you're very welcome. Do you have like any last final thoughts or anything that you'd like to share to people on the show?
I just come follow me for more music content. I'm gonna release some more stuff soon, and I love you guys. Thank you for your support.
Yes.